Hey guys, okay, so it's Miss Tiffany again, and I wanted to go over what I want to do for homework this evening for this week. I told you guys to do some homework for your Spanish notebook. Moms and dads, this is what their Spanish folder looks like, okay? There was a little bit of confusion. All of the students completed everything in the notebook. You do not have to complete that. They're included in this notebook. This folder is gonna be like their textbook. So we are using a curriculum, and so I've tried to put together the first few 4 to 5 lessons so that I don't have to continue to add to them, and they've got them for reference for when they need to study. Okay, if your student is one of those that already completed everything, don't worry about it. It's okay, no big deal. Okay, just when I assign it for homework, if it's something you've already done, just go over it and review it again, and I'm going to help you with pronunciation so that you guys aren't alone in that. Okay, so today we talked about the vocabulary on page 0. Now, don't y'all laugh. My pages are a little wonky, but it should be technically the 4th page. Okay, so they did the diario on page 0, so you can talk to them about that. Okay, but more importantly, we went over the vocabulary that is on page 1. Okay, which is éste es, or está, un muchacho, una muchacha, y se llama. Okay, so those one more time are I, so that's not hey, and your students should know. Ask them, why don't we say that hey? And they should tell you the H is silent in Spanish. We learned that today. Students from last year, remember that these first couple of times are going to be review. So if you had me last year, your student may be bored out of their gourd, and that's okay. But they got to do a little bit of review. Okay. So I, which is there is or there are, es or esta es, un muchacho, una muchacha, y se llama. And you can remember to ask how do you pronounce the 2 L's? Like a Y. So it should be like a. So I want you to go over that with your student or have them go over it. Okay? And by go over, that means read it out loud and try to basically you're wanting them to repeat, go over as much however that looks for your family. If that means you want to read it to mom and dad, you want to try to pronounce it, you want to tell mom and dad what each word means, however that looks like for your family, but so that they are laying eyes on it at least, 15 minutes sometime this week, okay? If that means 5 minutes, 3 days, that's awesome, okay? What also I want you to do for homework is page 2 and 3, okay? Page 2 and 3 look like this. So this is page 2, this is page 3. So the pink, page 2 and 3. There are like 2 or 3 questions on each. It's a really short story. Don't have them wig out on me, okay? They know this. They are going to use their vocabulary here on page 1, right? And some of it are cognates. So we've talked about cognates. We're doing a lot of cognates here in the beginning, okay? Cognate is a word that sounds and looks, it could look, a lot of times it does, but it's going to look and sound the same in 2 different languages. In our case, obviously, we're talking about English and Spanish. Okay, so we're trying to use cognates as much as possible so that we don't have to translate a ton of stuff, okay? So it's got lots of cognates in there, and so work with that. So they may say, Mom, I don't know what this word means. And you're going to say, hey, look, it looks like what word? Okay, it looks like what word in English? So keep that in mind. So page 2 and 3 for homework. Study the vocabulary on page 1, and that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text message. Hopefully that helps with the pronunciation. So thanks, guys. Have a great week.